Hi everybody, I wanted to give you my 1-year update since I've ruptured my Achilles tendon. I want to share with you things that have worked for me and things that have not. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Cassidy. I'm a DevOps author and a personal trainer. I'm also a big fan of American Ninja Warrior, and one of my goals is to get on the American Ninja Warrior show. 1 year ago, I was training for Ninja Warrior with my daughter, and I ended up rupturing my Achilles. It was a pretty awful experience, and the road to recovery has been pretty tough, and I hate to say it, but I'm still not fully recovered yet. I can do a lot of things though. I've paid close attention to my nutrition, and I've done a lot of research into what might help me recover more fully and maybe quicker. This is just my experience, things that have worked for me. Do your own research and talk with your doctor. So one of the things I tried was the Peptide BPC-157. I also tried the Peptide TB-500. I injected these subcutaneously into the area surrounding my Achilles, and I have to say the combination worked really well. It seemed to help with everyday pain and mobility. I can't say whether or not it contributed to, repairing my Achilles tendon. That was probably one of the best things I did for my pain and inflammation. The second best, I would have to say, is this oral BPC-157. I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try to show it to you up close here. These supplements are kind of expensive, but I wanted to try out different supplements to see what might work for me. And then with these, I like to cycle on and off of them. I don't like to just stay on them continuously. And this BPC-157 was pretty expensive, so it's not something that I'm going to keep doing. Third on the list is Inflamase. It seemed to work really well. They're just enzymes, and that seemed to help with my inflammation quite a bit from day to day. Fourth on the list, I would say, is vitamin C. I bought this liposomal vitamin C. It's supposed to have better bioavailability, or it absorbs better. Vitamin C is necessary in collagen synthesis, and so I'm thinking maybe it helped a little bit with that. It didn't hurt me, so I took that. As far as supplements go, that's kind of it. I mean, I took a multivitamin, multimineral. I made sure to get enough protein in my diet. Other than that, I didn't do anything too crazy. I tried some other supplements, Cissus quadrangularis, I'm not sure if that's how you say it. That didn't really seem to help me too much, but like I said, I wanted to try different things to see what worked and what didn't. And that's just my experience. Okay, so now I want to show you some things that I can do now that I've slowly built up to. I can sprint finally. I mean, I'm not 100%, I can't sprint full out. It's a little awkward to get going, to accelerate, because I'm using my soleus muscle a bit more compared to when I'm at like top speed, which isn't super fast or anything right now, but I'm able to sprint again, so I'm super happy about that. My mobility is slowly improving in my Achilles. It's still not 100% at all. It's pretty far from it. I mean, I think I'm like 5 degrees off, but it doesn't seem like a big difference, but it is in terms of mobility. After I injured my Achilles and was kind of immobilized because of my boot, I still trained as much of my body as I could. I even trained my other leg. I did some unilateral training in hopes of maintaining some of the muscle mass in my injured leg. I'm not sure if that really helped or not, but I did it anyways. Another thing I really focused on was my grip strength. And what's interesting about that is I was able to improve my grip strength and endurance pretty significantly. And I ended up taking some time off later, a few months off of grip training actually, and I came back to it not too long ago, and to my surprise, I still have pretty strong grip compared to before. I'm going to show you this video. I'm holding onto my hangboard, and I can do I don't know, I'm not a climber, so I don't know what a lot of these grips are called, but there's this like thing where you put your hand on a flat surface that's an angle, and I couldn't even imagine doing that before, but I can do that now pretty well. I can hold on to, I think it's like 18 millimeter ledge. When I first got injured, I was nowhere near being able to do that. I want to tell you a quick story about me getting into plyometrics. So I got into plyometrics, I started at the beginning of February. So it was about like 7 months post-surgery, and I started doing this plyometric program that I'll show you. I think it's a great program. I went through phase 1, and then as I got into phase 2 in March, I ended up injuring myself, or so I thought. I was doing triple hop on a single leg, and I heard like a pop in my Achilles, and it kind of hurt. And after that, I stopped doing plyometrics. I was kind of scared, but my physical therapist thought maybe it was just a suture or some scar tissue that popped. Obviously, it wasn't my Achilles. It didn't re-rupture or anything. Otherwise, I would have been in a lot greater pain and kind of screwed. So I stopped doing plyometrics after that. And in May, so this was March, and then in May, me and my family went to Disney World, so I didn't want to screw anything up before that trip. And then when we got back from that, I decided to focus more on mobility and strength instead of the power in the plyometrics. So I think this is a great program though, but I would definitely caution getting back into plyometrics too soon. I mean, like for a professional athlete who's going back to football, like you probably need, you need that explosive power. For me, it's not like I wanted to train for Ninja Warrior again. And it kind of stinks because I feel like I set myself back quite a few months when this happened to me while I was doing plyometrics. And it was more of a mental thing. I was scared. I didn't want to re-rupture it because I had gone through that and it was awful. Here's the plyometrics program. I can't find this online. My physical therapist sent this to me. Derek Pizek. I can't really say his name, but credit to him for creating this program. I don't know if you want to take a screenshot. Hopefully you can see this. Phase 1. There's a ballet section too if you're interested in that. Here's phase 2. That's where I got injured. And then there is a phase 3 that I never got to, and there's just like a testing options here. But anyways, I think that's a good plyometric program that I will go back to eventually. And looking back on my injury, when it did happen, I wasn't doing a lot of plyometric training. My nutrition was pretty dialed in, my strength, and even my mobility. I was actually doing the knees over toes guy stuff for my soleus. So I was training my soleus muscle and my calves a lot more than I had been before. So I don't know, it was kind of a freak accident. That's the only thing I can really come up with. But it happened, obviously, life goes on, and I'm trying to come back, make a full recovery. It's been a year, not fully recovered, but I'm getting closer, and I know I will be fully recovered soon enough, hopefully. So now I want to show you what I've been focusing on more recently that's been making a difference. So I'm going to show you a video here of me doing some isometrics. I kind of just started doing these intuitively. I saw, gosh, I don't remember the guy's name, but I saw a Tim Ferriss interview with this doctor. Maybe I'll put his name here when I'm editing the video. But he talked a lot about isometric training. So I started doing that just in different ranges of motion for my calves at the top of a calf raise, in the middle, and then I would use my Slant-board to create a stretch and then hold that bottom position without moving. I would do like 30 seconds, 2 sets of 30-second isometrics in each position. And then for mobility, I would kind of combine mobility and strength. One of my goals is to get into a full squat again, and I started off on a Slant-board. Now I'm at my weightlifting shoes that have a little heel in the back, and then what I do is I kind of do this like banded distraction. I put a band around the front of my ankle, and that seems to help me get deeper into a squat and deeper into the stretch of my calf. And so even just when I'm stretching, I use a band or just my hands to push on the front of my ankle so I can get a little more stretch out of there, and that seems to help me get a little deeper into the stretch. And I haven't showed you my jumping, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, I think. As you can see, so I can go pretty far. I have pretty good mobility in my right leg, my ankle, and then compared to my left, it's not as good. It's getting better each day, but so when I would go down to jump, I would kind of like turn my body a little bit. So I've been trying to focus more on mobility before I get back to plyometrics, but I can jump a little bit, definitely not as high as I used to. You'll see it kind of looks weird, but this is me jumping. It's getting better. It's a lot better than I was a year ago, that's for sure. And so now I just want to show you like a stretch or two that I do. So I like my Slant-board. I definitely recommend this one. I got it from the TB factory. I'm not affiliated, but I like the guy who made these. Okay. So I'll either, I'll just show you. I usually do it in a different spot. So I'll stick my, I sure hope you can see this. So I stick my foot, it's usually on an immovable object, and I put my other foot on top of the band. And this angle just really digs into the front of my ankle, and it allows me to get a little more room. So what I do, I just kind of explore this range of motion and just kind of wiggle and go back and forth, and stop if I feel anywhere like sensitive. I'm not doing this through pain, it just feels good. And so that's what I do. If you don't have a resistance band, you can just use your own hands or have someone, help you out and kind of dig in there. And I just find that distraction helpful for me to get further into this movement. And, that might not be the case for you. You might not feel it here, but sometimes when I stretch without that, I can feel it in the front more than in my Achilles. Okay, so that's it for that. One more thing here. I want to show you, forgive me, my daughters have their fort up and I didn't want to mess it up. But, okay. So here's my Achilles. Can you see it? I have a scar still. It's definitely a lot thicker than my other Achilles still. So you can see how tiny the other one is. My left leg is still smaller than my right leg. My left calf is quite a bit smaller. So it's been a long journey and the journey continues, but I'm still going to press forward. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to do Ninja Warrior again. And if I discover anything new along the way, I'll share it. I'm probably not going to give too many updates on this, but definitely, if something is working really well, I'll let you know, because I am going to try some different things. I actually might even try PRP, platelet-rich plasma, at some point. A long time ago, I had herniated discs in my back and I got PRP, and that was a huge help for me. Anyways, so that's my year update after my Achilles tendon rupture. And for more of my general content, subscribe to my channel. I like to do different experiments relating to health and wellness. As someone who sits in a desk all day for work, it's more important than ever to be intentional about your health in this modern world. So I talk a lot about that on this channel. And pretty soon I'm going to be launching a show. It's called the Active in Tech Show. And I'm going to be interviewing people, hopefully eventually from all over the world, who work remotely and are able to stay in shape. So I'm going to learn their secrets and I'm going to share it with you. Anyways, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you soon.